everyone. I'm Ronnie.
And I'm Jessica.
And you're listening to Clean With Me,
the podcast where we walk you through cleaning your house.
Hey everybody, so today's episode is going to be kind of based on back to school, getting back into a routine. If you do not have kids in school or you homeschool, back to school and starting homeschooling is pretty much the same thing. It's a little bit different, but you still are trying to get into a routine. But if you have little babies or you don't have any kids, please keep listening because you're still going to be able to get stuff out of this. And I really am just basically talking about getting organized and getting a good routine going, which is good whether you've got kids in school, back to school, or you're just dealing with babies at home and working or staying at home or whatever it is you do. Routine is still good in any walk of life. It's good to maintain a clean house. So I'm going to go ahead and start talking about that. But like I said, if that's not you, and if you're not in that walk of life, that's a phase of life, then that's fine. Just listen along and clean along, and hopefully you get something out of it. So first thing I want you guys to do is really work on your sleep schedule. And like I said, this applies whether you're going back to school with kids or maybe you're going to college or work or whatever the case may be. Having a routine and getting up early or getting up at the same time every day, even if it's not super early, and going to sleep at the same time every day really is beneficial for just being productive. Every time I end up sleeping in and I don't have a set bedtime and a set time I wake up, I'm always less productive. I'm always having a harder time getting started in the morning, and I'm just kind of, I don't want to do anything because sleep is really important. So try to get yourself on a schedule. I know a lot of people that have kids going back to school do like a trial period. I know I do in my house, like my kids for the last week, we've been going on school hours. I've been getting them up at the same time they're usually going to get up for school, and then having them go to bed early. That way it's not a shock to the system when school starts tomorrow. So if you're trying to get yourself into a better routine and fix your sleep schedule, just do a week trial period where you're getting up early, and maybe the first couple days you're going to lose a little bit of sleep because you're going to get up early and maybe you had trouble going to sleep at night. Because I definitely have trouble going to sleep at night, but that's because I'm sleeping in. So if I get up super early and then I kind of have a day where I'm kind of dragging, I'm super tired, I end up going to bed early because I'm just so exhausted. I end up dropping at the appropriate time, right? So then the next day it'll be a little easier. I'll naturally wake up early and so on and so forth. Another thing that I really try to keep up with during the school year and stuff, and this is all new to me. I've got a first grader and a kid in preschool, so I've only done this a couple years now. And the year before last year, Juliana was only going to school for like 3 hours. So last year was like my first actual full school year with a kid, and then this year is going to be my first school year with both kids in school. But last year was a good learning period for me, and I learned the stuff that works for me and the stuff that doesn't work for me. And a lot of it, you probably are going to think it's common sense. And I mean, it is, but implementing it is hard sometimes. And it's hard sticking to a routine and sticking to things if you don't go in with a plan prior to the week or whatever. If you're just going in blind and just trying to tough it out and just see how things go without a plan, it makes things a lot more difficult and a lot more room for error. So something that was big that I had to keep up on, otherwise it just made everything difficult, was laundry. Laundry. Last year, if I skipped a day in laundry, especially because they have uniforms, and I mean, this could be for any situation. If you're digging through their clothes and you just can't find a pair of socks or why is it so difficult to find socks? Side note, my socks always disappear. I bought like 500 pairs of socks for their school year this year because they have to wear a specific kind of socks. And I am not going to be searching for socks, but I'm also going to keep up on my laundry. But I'm not naive in the fact that my laundry is a black hole for socks. So let's go ahead and do a load of laundry, guys. Let's go ahead and do a laundry switch, move the clothes from the washer to the dryer and from the dryer to a laundry basket, and let's do a load. And if you, like I said, if this doesn't apply, just ignore it and just do the laundry. But if you're a person that is dropping off kids at school and if you're not going straight to work from there and you're coming home, then I would definitely start a load before you leave. That way, by the time you're done with the drop-off line and all that, or if you're homeschooling, same thing, once you got them all set up or anything, you can go check the laundry and then do a laundry switch. And that way your machines are running and something is getting clean while you're gone, even. Something is getting cleaned, right? Now, during the school year, I've definitely noticed that there's a lot going on. Okay, there's a lot going on in the morning, and I remember that from last year that if I wake up to a dirty house, it makes things harder to find. It's harder to get their stuff together. If I don't have lunches done, backpacks set out, homework set out, and I have a sink full of dishes, it makes my morning very stressful. I'm stressing out. I'm agitated at the kids. They're agitated. No one wants to start the day like that, snapping at the kids to get ready because you're late. It puts a bad taste in your mouth for the day. It's just icky feeling. So instead of that, I try very hard to focus on night before cleaning and being kind to my morning self. And I do a load of laundry in the morning, like I just said, but I try to get all of my cleaning done to be prepared for the morning and then evening time. So if you did not clean the night before, let's go ahead and just get our cleaning done now. But starting today, let's make a pact that we're going to start cleaning the night before after dinner. Excuse my children in the background yelling. But anyway, we are collectively going to really work on doing the night before cleaning so that we can wake up and all we have to worry about is getting ready for work, getting ready for the kids to go to school, getting ready for the day. If you're staying at home with babies, whatever the case is, we're just going to focus on getting ready in the morning and leisurely having your coffee or whatever it is. And we're going to get all the cleaning out of the way. So let's go ahead into the kitchen and start doing the dishes now and do an empty reload run or hand wash, whatever you prefer. But let's go ahead and empty our drying rack or dishwasher. I use my dishwasher as a drying rack, but a lot of times I'm bad about leaving the dishes in there, which main thing for me is that the dishes are clean. I just, it's nasty and funky if there's food in the sink for a long period of time, obviously. So that's my first priority, is doing the dishes. Second priority would be cleaning out the dishwasher and putting everything away. But I am bad about leaving them in the dishwasher until the next time I do the dishes, sometimes because I don't like to dry them. And that's completely up to you, whatever you prefer, whatever your priority is. But before we do the dishes, we're going to want to put those away. So let's put everything away where it goes. And then we are going to start our pre-rinse. And while you guys are doing your pre-rinse and washing your dishes, starting from utensils, cups, bowls, plates, up to pots and pans, don't forget to let the bad stuff soak. If there's anything that needs to soak, any pans that have anything baked on or anything like that, let's go ahead and put some hot soapy water in there and let those soak while we're doing the smaller items. And then let's get going on that. We're going to just knock these dishes out, and I'm going to keep talking while you guys are doing those dishes. So something I do, because I have to lay down with my kids to put them to bed. That's just my household. I have to. They won't go to sleep with their dad for some reason. They won't go to sleep by themselves. I have to lay there with them. I know they're really old for me to be doing that, but it's just how things are. So I have this thing that I do sometimes, and I get really mad at myself for it. But whenever dinner's done or whatever, if I wait too late to start cleaning, I have to lay down with them at a certain time, especially when they have school the next day. I have to lay down with them at like 7:30 because we have to get up really early because their school's a little bit far. And of course, when I go lay down with them, I always have the thought that, oh, I'm going to get back up when they're asleep and clean and finish whatever it is I didn't do. But that never happens. I'm always playing myself when I say that, and I always end up falling asleep with them, or I wake up like 3 hours later. I actually posted a meme about that the other day. So I allow myself about 2 hours of cleaning time, and I just know yourself, your patterns, know what you do and what you don't do, what makes you not do the cleaning at night. For me, it's putting my kids to sleep, and then I end up falling asleep with them, and then I wake up to a dirty house and everything's not set up for the next day. It might be different for you. Maybe you have different triggers or different things that maybe the evening time is the time that you relax with your spouse or whatever, so you're more inclined not to clean up. And if that's the case, then just schedule in some time directly after dinner. I personally like to kind of let my food settle for a few minutes after dinner, so I don't like to clean directly after dinner. So what I do that I can personally keep up with, and that I know that it's not going to be a big ordeal to keep up with, is while I'm cooking, while I'm already up, while I already have to be in the kitchen monitoring everything, I will go and do all of the dishes, the dishes that are still in the sink that I use to make the stuff. And then obviously there's going to be all the plates and utensils that we use to eat, and then the pots and pans that we use to eat. So, and just keep doing the dishes while I talk to you guys. But I like to give myself about 30 minutes or an hour where I'm just chilling with my husband or whatever. And then I will, after an hour after dinner, I will get up and do my cleaning and clean up the rest of the mess. That way it gives everybody time to kind of finish eating, clear their plates, all that good stuff. But I'm definitely not perfect, and I definitely fell out of routine over the summer. So, again, a lot of times if I do not schedule that, or I spend too much, I start, letting my food settle, quote unquote, and then I end up just sitting down and not doing anything until it's bedtime, and then I need to put the kids to bed, and then I fall asleep, and then the kitchen and house is dirty when I wake up. That usually it's annoying, and it kind of puts a damper on my day the next day and everything. But during the school year, it's not even something that I can let happen, because then we're going to get stressed out. We're going to be snapping at kids. We're going to be trying to find stuff and not being able to, and it's going to be a nightmare. You guys are doing awesome. Just keep working on those dishes. Get everything nice and clean. I know after I do the dishes, I'm always so much more motivated, and I feel so much better about the house, because dishes is something I kind of put off, and then once I do it, it's so easy. I always try to put it off, and then I knock it out in a few minutes. And if you're somebody that really dreads doing the dishes, think about why. What is it about the dishes that really stresses you out? For me, it's when there's a bunch of gross food on the plates and stuff. So having everybody in the house pre-rinse your dishes, you pre-rinsing after you eat, rinsing off pots and pans and filling up with hot soapy water right after you use them, that's definitely going to make it easier on you doing the dishes, and it's going to make you dread it a lot less. So I guess the moral of this is moral of the story is you want to allow yourself enough time after dinner, however you want to schedule things in. Some people probably prefer to knock it out right after dinner. That way you can just relax and then put the kids to bed. however you prefer to do things, make sure you're allowing enough time before bedtime to get everything that you need to get done. So I try to give myself personally about 2 hours. That way I can do a clean above the kitchen, wipe down, sweep, and a living room pickup. And then I have time after that to go ahead and put the kids' clothes out and make their lunches, or my husband's lunch, or whoever's lunch I'm making. Because usually when I'm making lunches, it's leftovers. Sometimes it's not, but if I cooked something that has a lot of leftovers for lunch the next day, which if the kids really liked something I made, you already have the food out and you're already having to put it away anyway while you're doing the kitchen clean. So sometimes I like to incorporate, after I'm done doing the dishes and doing my kitchen clean, I like to make their lunches right then and there. That way, if I use any dishes or something, I can just quickly wash them while I'm already in the kitchen, while I'm already in dish cleaning mode, kitchen cleaning mode, pack up the lunches, put it in the fridge, and then move on to the next room. So if you want to incorporate that, you can do that. My kids are small and they will not eat fruit that's been cut up in the fridge for too long, because the bananas will turn brown or whatever. You know how kids are. So I do wait till after dinner and my cleanup time right after dinner, right before bed, to go ahead and make their lunches. That way they're not just sitting in the fridge all day. But depending on what it is, you could do it in the morning when you're making lunch or whatever the case is. The phrase of the day is whatever the case may be. I apparently say that 80 times a second. So if you guys are done with the dishes by now, awesome. Let's go ahead and move on to the next thing. If you are not, no worries, no judgment. You can rewind, pause while you finish up whatever you want to do. But we're going to move on to the other stuff. So if you are done with your dishes, let's go ahead and clear the countertops, put everything away, put anything away in the kitchen that goes in the kitchen, any kind of air fryer, toaster, anything that doesn't have a permanent home on your countertop. Try to put it away in a cabinet. That way you have more space to wipe down. And then once you get everything put away, if there's any kind of trash, throw it away. Dining room as well. If there's any trash on the table, in the kitchen, whatever, let's go ahead and throw it away. And then once we get everything cleared, we're going to do a thorough wipe down. So let's wipe down the refrigerator, the handles, the countertops, the stove. If your stove has anything baked on and you need to spray something and let it sit, go ahead and wipe down the rest of everything else and then come to the stove last after you've sprayed the degreaser and let it sit for a little bit. And then after you're done doing your thorough wipe down and maybe making your kids lunches, then let's go ahead and do a quick sweep of the kitchen and dining room because we probably brushed a lot of stuff on the ground. So just be working on your wipe down, and I'm going to keep talking and just make sure we're not forgetting the backs of chairs, high chairs, anything like that. Okay, so while you guys are getting your wipe down and pickup of the kitchen and dining room done, I'm just going to keep talking. When I am doing the podcast and I'm talking to you guys about things I'm going through and things that I do to help myself, it is very specific to me. I know there are some people that relate to my specific things and there's some that don't. And I just want you guys to kind of use it as a guideline. And if you don't directly relate to something I'm saying, just use it in a way that applies to you. So if you don't have to get up super early for a specific reason, even, with the school year starting and stuff, if that doesn't apply to you, it's still good to have a strict routine for most days. And strict routine doesn't necessarily getting up super, super early. It's just waking up at the same time every day, going to sleep at the same time every day. Having that routine will help you get more sleep and help you get a lot more done during the day. Once you guys are done with your pickup and wipe down, let's go ahead and move on to the living area. If you're still working on it, no worries. You can pause, rewind, anything that you want to do, and then resume into the living room area. But I'm going to go ahead and move to there. First thing I want to do is wash my cushions or vacuum my cushions. So I'm going to get my trusty dusty vacuum and vacuum my cushions, pick them up and clean underneath it. I do have a couch cover on right now, but I still like to spot clean it because it'll get holes in it. It's cheap, so I don't want to wash it too often in the actual washer. So I'm just going to spot clean my couch. If you have a cloth couch, get some hot soapy water, maybe some carpet cleaner, Resolve or something, and you can spot clean it after you vacuum it. And sometimes I don't even realize how dirty my couch is until I get close to it and I'm actually looking with a hot soapy rag or carpet cleaner, and I'm actually down there staring at it and seeing all of the spots and cleaning it. So it's good to do every once in a while for sure. And like I said, I make sure to get under the cushions, on top of the cushions, and just give a quick vacuum. That also really helps the appearance of your couch. And then once I'm done doing my spot clean and vacuum of the couch, I make sure to clean underneath it, because that's something that in the past I had trouble keeping up with, so I definitely try to do it regularly. So I get my broom and I kind of just sweep underneath my couch if you can't physically move it. Sometimes I move it, sometimes I just do a little sweep with the broom and get everything out from under it. And if you do that often, then it's not going to get really messy. If you do have a really messy under your couch, as messy as it possibly could be ever, it's still not going to take you too long to clean up underneath it, because mostly it's probably trash or little McDonald's toys or whatever. And then after you do that comes my favorite part. And if I'm talking too fast, no worries. Just work on whatever is the most pressing issue in your living area. I just like to start with my couch, but if you want to start with picking up because there's a lot of stuff on your floor, you can do that as well. But I also, after I'm done with the couch, I like to fix my pillows and blanket. It's my favorite part of cleaning the living area. And then after you're done with the couch, we're going to move on to the floor. If you're already doing it, awesome. But let's go ahead and pick up all the trash and throw it away first. I like to start at one end of the living area and move to the next. That way it kind of grounds me and keeps me focused on my task instead of running all around the living area. I just start on one end and move my way to the next end. But pick up all the trash and then pick up all the toys or miscellaneous things that go in other rooms. And you guys are doing an awesome job. Let's just go ahead and once you're done with your pickup, your house is going to look so much better. So after you're picking up the floor, if you're still doing it, that's fine. Just keep working on that. But if you have surfaces in your living room, coffee table, end table, I have like a little window ledge area that goes to the kitchen, to the living area that sometimes things accumulate on. Any kind of hot spots anywhere that things accumulate, any tables that you set things down on, let's go ahead and pick that up. Maybe you have a cabinet in your living room that accumulates stuff. Maybe my husband, we have a cabinet in our dining room that he kind of puts stuff on when he gets home from work, wallet, keys, coins, all that stuff. So I like to just kind of spruce it up every once in a while. That way it doesn't accumulate a bunch of stuff and look really cluttered. So just clear up your surface areas, and then once you're finished with all that, with your pickup, with your surface areas, like I said, if you have one area that's messy and you think I'm not giving you enough time to do it, you can just pause, rewind, or just clean whatever it is you need to do while I'm talking. But when you're all done with that, do a thorough sweep if you have hardwood floors or tiles, and then if you have carpeting, you can vacuum when I'm done with the episode, or right now, whatever you prefer. I have hardwood floors, so I'll do a sweep and mop of the living area and kitchen and dining room. I like to do all my floors at one time, one room at a time. I sweep one room, sweep the next room, sweep the next room, and then I will mop one room, mop the next room, mop the next room. Another thing I didn't mention that may need to be done, if you haven't changed your trash liner, maybe you need to take out the trash and change the liner. You can do that as well before you do your floor clean. And since we're almost done with the outer areas, if you need to switch your laundry, if the washer and dryer are in fact done, you can switch your clothes. If they aren't done, no worries. Just wait a few more minutes and maybe set a timer on your phone. If you're somebody that forgets, like I am, I forget all the time. So I usually set a little timer on my phone if I have a lot of laundry to do. Otherwise, I'll forget and it'll sit in there for a few hours. I hope you guys got a lot done today, and if you're still in a cleaning mode and you want to keep going, please listen to another episode. We have them on all different rooms, all different subjects, so please listen to another one if you still have that momentum going and you want to keep cleaning. And try your best to get into a good routine. It'll make your life easier. It'll make your mornings easier, and this school year will be a lot smoother. And do not stress out if maybe you have a couple rough days and you didn't do it exactly how you wanted to, and you didn't keep up with things exactly how you wanted to, or maybe you had one of those mornings where you were stressed out and snapping and late. And that's okay, because it's the beginning of the year and we are learning by trial and error. So if you have one of those mornings, yes, I gave some reasons why I get stressed out, but kind of sit with yourself, sit with your thoughts, and think, what is it that made this morning stressful? Was it the kids' clothes? Was it me waking up too late? Was it them taking too long to get ready and they weren't out the door in time? Maybe you need to get them up earlier. Just really think about what the problem was and how you can fix it. And it's trial and error until you get it right. And then when you find something that works, you have a really smooth sailing morning, everything went right. Try to replicate that in your day-to-day and try to recreate that. And we're human, we're going to make mistakes, but when you find something that works, you got to stick with it as best as you can. So thank you guys so much for listening. I hope you have a good school year and a good day. And as always, happy cleaning.